Hey guys, welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. So we are starting up by making a pasta salad for the week. So I'm just cutting up some red onion. I'm going to go ahead and chop the whole thing just because it's easier to just go ahead and chop it all in one fell swoop. So I can use it for other recipes as well. You're going to need some dill pickle, some cheese, sour cream, mayonnaise, pickle juice, and some pasta. I will leave the actual recipe link down below for you that I followed, but this was a really good pasta salad and it would be really good to take to your family get-togethers this summer. Next, I'm putting together my broccoli salad. I make this pretty much every week. It's just something good to have for lunch and for a side for dinner. So I will also leave that recipe link down below for you, but I have made it in quite a few of my recent videos. It has definitely become one of our favorites. So for our first actual meal of the week, I'm making some easy cashew chicken. So I am making some rice in the Instant Pot. This is a super easy method. I can leave the directions typed out down below for you because I do use them every time that I make rice. But it's basically just a rice to water ratio. Just however much rice that you use, make sure that you use water. And then I'm also going to season it with some chicken bouillon and a little bit of butter. And you're going to want to pressure cook this on manual pressure for 5 minutes and then let it do a 5-minute natural release. When the 5 minutes is up, go ahead and release the rest of it and you are good to go. It is so good and it makes perfect rice every single time. So I wanted a super easy dinner, so I am just using frozen popcorn chicken for the chicken. This dinner was so good. My kids and my husband both loved it. These little banquet popcorn chickens are definitely not our favorite. We definitely prefer the Great Value better, but they were just fine, and I do recommend using these. So if you can find them, go ahead and get them, but I do prefer the Great Value instead. So to get started with the cashew sauce, it is super easy. I think it just seems like intimidating because of cashew chicken and all that stuff. This is Springfield style cashew chicken, by the way. I can leave the recipe link down below for you, but it is chicken broth. I just use water and chicken bouillon. It calls for a little bit of sesame oil, some oyster sauce, and then it actually calls for soy sauce, but I leave it out because last time I made it with the soy sauce, it was a little bit too salty. So yeah, I definitely recommend trying this. It is really good and it is super easy. Here's what it looked like when it all came together. We serve this on the side with some pineapple and some broccoli salad. So this next night, I am making a chili dog casserole. So I just have a couple cans of canned chili here. You could make your own or use leftovers, whatever. But I wanted it super easy, so I got 2 cans of chili, and then I actually had some cheese dip in my fridge I wanted to go ahead and get used up, so I added that in as well. And then I had some sour cream that was about to expire, so I wanted to add that too. Sour cream, when you add that to chili or refried beans, it just gives it a really good flavor. So it's my little tip there. And I did go ahead and season it a little bit. You always want to season your canned chili. It just makes it a little bit better. And I'm just going to heat this through on the stove while my tater tots cook halfway. I did go ahead and throw my tater tots in the oven. I'm just going to cook that according to the package directions, and I'm only going to cook them halfway through. We'll finish cooking them when we put the casserole together, but I've also got a package of hot dogs here. I'm just going to cut those up into bite-sized pieces, and this is what we're going to throw into our chili to make it the chili dog casserole. Okay, tater tots are coming out of the oven, so I'm going to go ahead and put my chili mixture down on my casserole dish. It's super easy, pretty self-explanatory, and then we're going to put a little bit of cheese on top of the chili, and then we're going to layer our tater tots on top, and I'm going to bake this in the oven at, I believe it's 400 for just the rest of the time that the tater tots need to cook. The chili's already hot, so don't need to heat that back up. And this is chili dog tater tot casserole. So I did use a recipe from Pinterest as inspiration, but as usual, I kind of just did my own thing, and this was really, really good. The hot dogs that I used were not our favorite, but it was really good, and it was a family-friendly recipe. Not healthy whatsoever, but you know, sometimes you just have to appease the kids too. So they absolutely loved this. Brystal's favorite thing are tater tots, so she was super happy this night. So here's what it looks like when it came out. I did top it with cheese when it came out, and I just let the residual heat melt the cheese. I don't like putting it in the oven because I don't want the cheese to burn, but It was super delicious. This next night, I am making some chicken fajitas in the crock pot. Super easy way to make chicken fajita nachos. So I just got this bag of fajita chicken and I'm just going to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. If you've not had this type of chicken, it is good. I think it's the best on the market, especially if you're wanting like just chicken salad or whatever. But again, I wanted to go the easy route. That's kind of the theme for this week. I just needed something easy. We got our pool put up and we've had people over at our house like every night. So when I'm putting together dinner, I don't want to be standing in the kitchen cooking. I would rather be in the pool swimming. So that is what I'm doing this week. I'm just going to cut these up into bite-sized pieces, throw these in the crock pot, and then I've got a bag of peppers and onions I'm going to throw in. I've got some Velveeta cheese I'm going to throw in. I did put some chicken broth in there as well, but it definitely did not need it. So I would not recommend doing that. But yeah, this is a super easy dinner that, again, I found as inspiration on Pinterest. So I did want to talk about something really quickly. So what's for dinners, as you guys know, have been like my struggle for a long time because they require so much work. So my what's for dinners from now on are probably going to be more bonus videos. So you probably will not see what's for dinners every week. I'm just going to start putting together what's for dinners whenever I can. With this stage of my life, when things settle down a little bit with the baby and we get more into a routine with the kids in summertime, I might pick back up. But I do just want to share like easy recipes with you guys and new recipes. So from now on until I tell you different, what's for dinners are going to be bonus videos just because they are so much work for me. So just letting you know that. So don't expect what's for dinners every Sunday, but I will try and do the best that I can as far as what's for dinner. So we're going to move on to our next recipe. This is red beans and rice in the Instant Pot. So I did not follow a recipe for this. I just kind of did my own thing. So I've got some red onions that I needed to use up in the bottom of my Instant Pot here. And I also have some smoked sausage that I heated up. I'm going to go ahead and throw some frozen onions and peppers in there as well. It just sounded good. And we are just going to saute this just until everything is soft and when we get some color on the sausage. Now that I've got some color on everything, I'm going to go ahead and throw some water in the bottom just to get all of those little good bits up. Make sure that it doesn't burn. And then I have a box of Zatarain's red beans and rice. And I'm just going to throw that in and just kind of submerge it into the water. You don't want to stir it. Just to make sure that it's kind of submerged and pushed down. And then I'm going to cook this in the Instant Pot on high pressure for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to let it do a natural release for another 10 minutes. And then it is done. This was super easy and it turned out perfect. With this dinner, we are making some cornbread muffins. So I just got my box of Jiffy here. I'm just going to cook it according to the directions. And I'm just going to make them into muffins because it's just easier for everyone to serve themselves that way. When it is done, you're just going to want to stir it, give it a good fluff, and here's what it looked like when it was all done. This was so, so good. I highly recommend trying this. And of course, the cornbread muffins were good as well. My kids always love those. This next night, my husband got a Blackstone for Father's Day. Actually, it's not a Blackstone. It's the Walmart brand that was like, I don't know, $400 cheaper. It was so, so good. Here's what they look like when they came off the griddle. They were amazing. It was his first time, but I think he did so good. So that is it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you